So getting super practical about this. I work with so many accountants and business owners and contractors. We do websites, marketing, and advertising, SEO, and stuff. 2021, you start and you have 350 clients. I work with a lot of accountants. A bunch of them make it. You're part of that group. You do really well. A bunch of them struggle. Why do you have 350 clients and 7 employees after it's 2024, August of 2024? What the heck? How did you do that?
Really into this is a fun story on how kind of the practice blew up. So let's take like a little step back before this, and then we'll kind of roll into that. The firm I worked for, I have only good things to say about them. I learned a ton in the 5 to 10 years in the 5 years that I was there. I tell everybody I got a 10-year education because we work like dogs. You got to see everything, from startup to billion-dollar plus revenue companies. So love doing that. But their focus shifted as COVID started. They really wanted to focus on that much larger client, that 50 million plus to billion plus in revenue. And I enjoyed working on those clients. I was on the audit team there. I enjoyed some of that, but my passion was really around small business. That under 20 million in revenue, I would say. And so, I decided to leave because of that, because those are the clients and people that I wanted to help. And so we got into that, and, I didn't, everybody talks about you should really be in a niche, right? And you should really hammer home a niche. And so, I was really thinking about that. I was very active on Facebook. I was in all these different small business groups. I was giving out free advice. I had a little bit of money stacked away, but not a ton. And so it was like, you got to hit the ground running. So I'm in every single group I can imagine, posting content daily, just giving, not being like, hey, come buy my service. Like, here's some things you should just know. Right. And so that started to gain a little bit of traction. And I meet this guy out of South Carolina. His name's Mike Wingard. And he reaches out to me. He's like, hey, I run this pressure washing business in Pennsylvania. Again, I'm in Iowa. He's like, hey, I'd love to come, learn more about what you do. So I'm thinking, sweet. He's got a $500,000 business. This would be a great little bookkeeping client for me. I'm getting all ready for this discovery meeting. And he flips the script on me. He goes, hey, I don't want to use you for accounting, but I run this coaching business. We've got like 12 pressure washing guys that I help coach. Would you be interested in being part of my team? You'll do it for free, but I will be all these clients I'll refer to you. Well, this is like height of the second round of PPP money coming out, and probably, a lot of these guys didn't have their tax returns done yet, and so within a week, I picked up 80% of his group, and for bookkeeping, tax returns, helping them with PPP. And you want to talk about like some instant credibility. Like for us, it takes a little while to gain some of that credibility. Because people are buying from who they know, like, and trust. And I mean, these guys were from California, Ohio, South Carolina. I mean, they're all over the United States. And jump in there and say, hey, we'll put together your PPP documents, get you 25 grand for $500. They think you're the king. And so they start slinging us all over. So if you would have told me that I'd be a pressure washing CPA, I would have laughed. But that was the niche that really took off and helped start our practice. So we did a ton of bookkeeping, a ton of tax work. For a while there, they were probably till last year, they were probably 40 or 50% of our book of business is pressure washing companies across the United States. We probably had over 150 of them. That niche blew up during COVID because if you got laid off from your job, you had $1,000. Those guys went to Home Depot, bought a pressure washer, and started a little small business and really started making some money, probably even more money than they did working whatever job they were doing. And so we got involved in the groups. The beauty of that niche is not all these guys are big high rollers where they're doing 10 plus million a year. But you get in a group like that, that has 40,000 people on Facebook, 35,000 of them are business owners. So it was every time you'd put a post in that group, boom, instant traction. You get 20, 30 comments. People wanted to meet with you, pick your brain, and you're picking up a third of those as clients. And so it really took off. I got introduced to some of the guys that run events there. Started speaking at some of their conferences and getting more involved that way. And that's really kind of segued us into really that home services type business. That and construction are really our two niches that we focus on. But I also tell people we focus on small business because so much of small business, probably under that 25 million in annual revenue, is very, very much the same, regardless of what industry you're in. You really start to see some more industry siloing once you get above some of that revenue targets, where you might see specific software being utilized, specific tax plans and things like that. We're not so interested in being that siloed. And so really I say our core audience is small business, but if you had to pick a niche in there, it's service and construction. So
That's so